Okay guys, today what we're going to look at is a method for factorizing quadratics that takes out some of those extra steps we're doing at the moment. Okay, so let's say that we have a quadratic such as x squared plus 7x plus 12. We'll keep it nice and easy. All right, how are we factorizing it at the moment? Well, at the moment what you're doing is we're making our little table. We're saying a times c and b, and they have to multiply to give a times c and add to give b. Okay, so what are two numbers that multiply to give a times c? All right, so a times c in this case is, our a term is 1. So 1 times c gives us 12. Okay, and our b term is 7. So let's look at numbers that multiply to give 12. We have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and then the negative of all of these. So minus 1 times minus 12, minus 2 times minus 6, minus 3 times minus 4. Okay, let's add them together. 1 plus 12 is 13, 2 plus 6 is 8, 3 plus 4 is 7, minus 1 plus minus 12. Yeah, we've got the negatives of all of these. Okay, and you can see that the one that we are looking for is 3 times 4 equals 7. So what we then did is we split the middle term, the 7x, we're going to split into 3x plus 4x. Okay, so then we just have x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. All right, then we make the dotted line. You don't have to do the line if you don't want, but it just helps some people. And we're going to factorize. So we get x plus 3, plus 4, x plus 3. Okay, our brackets match. Okay, we got x plus 3 in both brackets, which means we can now write equals x plus 3. And what we have left over is x plus 4, so that's going to go in our second bracket. Okay, now, I said to you at the start, I taught you this so that you would get a really good understanding of how to do this. All right, now, in reality, most people don't bother with most of these steps. Most people just take the shortcut. And what's the shortcut? Well, we picked out 3 and 4 here, didn't we? Okay, so back up here we picked up 3 and 4. Now what you might notice is this number here and this number here. Okay, that's 3 and 4. All right, so actually you no longer need to do these two middle steps if you don't want to. Okay, if you've identified those two numbers, you can go straight to the final answer. All right, so let's have a look at some examples. So if we have x squared minus 3x minus 9. Okay, no, not minus 9. Let's make it minus 18, sorry. Okay, so firstly, a times c and b. Okay, so remember a is a 1 here, so a times c is going to give us minus 18 and b is going to give us minus 3. So factors are minus 18. Because it's negative, we know one of the terms is going to be negative. So minus 18 is minus 1 times 18, okay, or minus 18 times 1, okay. It's minus 9 times 2, or minus 2 times 9. And it's minus 3 times 6, or minus 6 times 3. Let's add these all together. So minus 1 plus 18 is 17. Then we have minus 17. Minus 9 plus 2 is minus 7. So then we'll have 7. Minus 3 plus 6 is 3. And minus 6 plus 3 is minus 3. Okay, and we were looking for minus 3. So we know it's this one. Okay, so no longer bother with all this splitting the middle term and everything. All we're going to do now is we're going to say equals brackets. We have minus 6, so we're just going to write x minus 6. And we have plus 3, so we're going to say x plus 3. And we are done. That's all you need to do. Okay, so let's do another one. X squared, I'll do an easy one. X squared plus 10x plus 24. Okay. A times C is 24 and B is 10. Okay, multiplies to give 24. 24 and 1. I'm only going to do positives because we know it's positive here. 12 by 2, 8 by 3, 6 by 4. Okay, 24 plus 1 is 25. 12 plus 2 is 14. 8 plus 3 is 11. And 6 plus 4 is 10. So we were looking for this last one. 6 plus 4 is 10. We have 6 and we have 4. So we have x plus 6, x plus 4. So this is what we call the product sum method. Okay, and the reason we call it that is because this was a product. Okay, product means multiply, and this is a sum because sum means plus. So this is called the product sum method. Now, most of the time you won't see people mentioning A. Okay, so most methods only mention that you need to look for products of C. And as I said to you, the reason I teach you a little bit extra is because it means that you're able to do one that's a little bit harder. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, so what we're going to look at is one that you can't just go straight to the shortcut. Okay, so for this one we're going to look at now, you can't just jump straight to a final answer. So if I have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3, if you do the product sum method, you are going to look for two numbers that, let's pretend that we don't know about the 2. Okay, so we're going to look for two numbers that multiply to give C and add to give B. This is how most people teach it. So the C would be 3 and the B would be 5. Now you can't find two numbers that multiply to give 3 and add to give 5. You're not going to find it. It's not possible. All right. And actually, as I said to you, it's actually A times C. Okay, so A times C is 2 times 3, which is 6. And this actually changes it because you can find two numbers that multiply to give 6 and add to give 5. Okay, because 6 can be written as 6 times 1, or 2 times 3, or minus 6 times minus 1, or minus 2 times minus 3. Okay, and if we add these together, 6 plus 1 is 7, 2 plus 3 is 5, minus 7 minus 5, and we get an answer here. Now, this again is not going to work the way the normal product sum method works, because you can't now just write x plus 2, x plus 3. Okay, because we have 2x squared. All right, if you just do this, or if you just go, okay, well, we've got a 2x squared, so I'll just put a 2 in here. Okay, that also doesn't work. It's not correct. All right, because if we expand this, if we go the other way, we get 2x squared plus 2x plus 6x plus, what have I got left to do here? 6. All right, which gets us 2x squared plus 7x plus 6, which wasn't our original question. Okay, so that's why we can't just do this using product sum method. For this, you need to use the method that I've been teaching you the last few lessons. Okay, because what we do with that 2 and 3 is we split this middle term. Okay, 5x becomes 2x plus 3x. Okay, we keep the rest, same as normal. All right, now you can see that we can take a factor of 2x on the first half, so split it into 2. 2x can come out of the first half, then we get x plus 1 plus 3, x plus 1. And now we have the matching brackets just like we want. So we can write this down as, we've lost our equals, x plus 1, 2x plus 3. most people, or a lot of people, can't actually solve this. A lot of people can't put this into brackets because they have not been shown this method. Okay, so this gives you quite an advantage with something like this where a lot of people will use another method. Okay, later on you'll learn about how to solve this. We'll talk about that later. A lot of people have to use much longer and more difficult methods because they don't know this. Okay, so please don't forget that method that I taught you because it does really help. Okay, for most other cases you can just use the shortcut though. Okay, so straight into product sum method most of the time will be fine.